What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bolero. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gablim. And wala pa si Mr. Maui up, but he will be back soon, don't worry.
Ubus na raw ang data niya sa sa Japan sa kakanood sa ng UAAP.
so guys, galit na galit siya kasi we were chatting with him while watching the UP versus Lasal game, and di ba may maraming reviews nung bandang dulo, nung last few seconds. Sabi niya, hala, naubusan na data ko! Masyado matagal yung reviews! So, sorry, Mr. Maui up, naubos namin data mo.
Yes, and UP, you had one job. You had one job to win this game for Ateneo's sake. Come on. Come on. You had one job. Just to beat LaSalle, man. Why?
To give Ateneo a better chance.
Man, yeah, come on. UP. Come on.
But, shout out to the LaSalle Green Archers for getting that huge win. So, they will be the team that will be featured in our sponsor segment for today.
Of course, this episode is once again brought to you by our friends from Varsity Lifestyle Co., the official licensed merchandise of the UAAP. And if you're a De La Salle Green Archers fan, alumnus, you're liking their chances now in making the Final Four. That was a big win against their rivals, the UP Fighting Maroons. They set themselves up for at least a playoff for the fourth seed. If ever they lose to the Ateneo Blue Eagles on Wednesday, they still have a shot to make it the Final Four no matter what. So that's how big that win was against the UP Fighting Maroons. And if ever you want to purchase some of the merchandise from Varsity Lifestyle Co., use our voucher code BOLEROS upon checkout to get 10% off your order. Ayan. So, buy some merch from Varsity Lifestyle Co. Malapit na ang postseason, so you want to rep your school. So, check out the merchandise from Varsity Lifestyle Co. And kung gusto nyo samahan yung fit nyo for the postseason with some of our Boleros caps, I'm wearing the beige one. The pink one is once again available. I think that's the hottest selling one. So if ever you're interested in purchasing and supporting us here on Boleros, the order link is in the description. It's also will be pinned as a comment. So check it out.
Check them out.
Again, school neutral. And the quality is good. I've had this one for a year already. And still pretty good. Madaling labhan din.
Perfect Christmas present for your loved ones who are into basketball, whether you're buying a Boleros cap or a Varsity Lifestyle Co. School merch. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about the LaSalle versus UP game. I think that's the main game. Although the first one was also a huge win for FEU. They stay alive. Maybe we'll talk more about that later and talk about yung implications of LaSalle and FEU's win. But just initial reactions to the LaSalle versus UP game. This sort of reminded me of the Ateneo versus UP game, pero na-reverse yung role ng UP.
I was gonna say.
Diba?
That was my
diba? UP led
LaSalle gave
quarter.
UP a taste of their own medicine, literally. Diba?
Exactly.
Si UP yung mahilig mag-comeback eh. Pero ngayon,
and it was exactly like the game against Ateneo, diba? Where Ateneo led by a big margin ng first quarter, and then UP won the rest of the quarter, second, third, and fourth. I think it's the same here. It wasn't looking good for LaSalle at the start, and they won the second, third, and fourth quarter. Just your takeaways from this game, how LaSalle sort of came back. Then maybe we'll talk some of the mga things that happened during this game. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm sorry, Sammy. I know you had something planned, but before I get to my initial reactions about the game, I do want to express some disappointment with the officiating in the UAAP commissioner's office or the board in general. Like, what the fuck is this consistency in officiating in the referee calls? EJ Goliana was ejected today by a closed fist hit on Francis Noruco. I think we all saw it from the replay. He was ejected. He might get suspended. But even if Ateneo ang kalaban nila sa next game, and we're Ateneans here, and it would benefit us if EJ Goliana was suspended, I don't think he should be suspended.
Di pa
Because
natin alam, di ba? But he
uh,
might get suspended, but we're not sure.
suspended, well, it was a close fist hit. Diba? Maybe. But he should not get suspended because they just let Gani Stevens play in this game. Gani Stevens did a nut punched punched kay Manny Ladi in the nuts, was not even ejected, was not even reprimanded, was not even punished at all. It's given an unsportsmanlike foul. What the hell is this where inconsistency of calls? That was what Gani Stevens did in the Ateneo game was infinitely more. It was infinitely worse than what EJ Goliana did. He he targeted Kaimani Ladi's nuts. And he only got one unsportsmanlike foul, was not even ejected him from the game, and he was still able to play in this game. I don't get it, man. That's so frustrating. If you're a LaSalle fan, I said this in our last episode, Sammy, you should feel very frustrated and very hurt by the UAAP commissioner's office or whoever decides on these suspensions, because Gani Stevens should have been suspended. Vodes Manasigan was suspended for a lesser infraction, in my opinion. This was definitely a lesser infraction by EJ Goliana, and he got ejected. I don't get it. This will be an example that I will touch on maybe in our postseason discussions, that this is so inconsistent. Why is Gani Stevens getting a pass and Goliana and Marasigan are getting ejected from games? And you were arguing na baka it's a reputation of Boris Marasigan. EJ Goliana does not have a reputation for doing
Yeah,
these.
that's true. That's true.
And you were
I
also arguing
mean,
that maybe
Goliana
si
does
Omar
not.
Jan, you oversold it, which is what led to the Boris Marasigan ejection. Francis Nuruka did not sell it at all. He
Yeah,
just
that's true.
complained.
He just complained. Hindi naman siya nagmikpenisi. To be fair to
Oh,
Nuruka, like he did not
oh.
sell it.
So I do recall that those were your two arguments on why si Gani Stevens was not ejected. Hindi nag well kay Manila, you did not sell it as much. He got up right away. Si Gani Stevens does not have a reputation for such things, which is why he got away with it. But this is the same thing. EJ Golian does not have a reputation. In fact, Noruka did not act out. But why was he ejected? I don't get it, man. If you're a LaSalle fan, you should be angry because that's just crazy. That's just crazy. We never heard anything from the UAAP. And we saw it on replay. He targeted kay Manny Ladi's balls. Don't get it. That's one of my sorry, we were supposed
I
to do yung takeaways, but I wanted to express my frustration with the inconsistency of the referees. And I think this was the same refereeing crew. Well, at least I recognized one or two of them. This was the same crew that called the Ateneo UP game. Why are you suddenly changing your mind? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I was going to talk about that, but sige, since we jumped there, I am curious. What do the LaSalle fans think? So please do comment down below. Thoughts on the call on Goliana also. But I am seeing, like, I scrolled through Twitter or like social media. Meron ding mga iba na had similar comments as you, Gab. With comparing like the call on Goliana to the Stevens call and also Boris Marisigan's flagrant. So I think some people do agree with you. But please, LaSalle fans, comment down below. Comment down below your thoughts. Kasi sila yung impacted dito eh. Sila yung pinaka
Yeah.
matatamaan. Potentially, lalo na if Goliana gets suspended. We're not sure yet.
Yeah. So
Uh,
anyway, I just wanted to express that before I actually get to the game, because that's pretty glaring for me. How
right.
much they gave a pass to Gani Stevens and how much they punished Marasigan and Goliana yung in the second round games. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, yung back to the game. As I said, Sammy, LaSalle gave UP a taste of their own medicine. It's a total reverse of what happened in the Ateneo game. Diba? LaSalle got down big. UP was shooting the lights out in the first half, actually. I think they shot close to 60% the entire first half. LaSalle was breaking a lot of shots. And I think a few of them went in and out. There was a layup by Phillips that went in and out. There was a layup by Makalalag that went in and out. There was a layup. There was a jump shot by Cortez that went in and out. So may halong malas, diba? They were not getting their shots to fall. On the other end, the game plan by Coach Gold was pretty clear. If they were going zone, we're targeting either the middle of the zone or the baseline. Yung that baseline cut when whenever someone would flash in the middle and then the guy in the middle would go to that person, the baseline you would be open. I think Gani Stevens got a couple of baskets there along with Francis Noruka. So and the other game plan is that whenever yung LaSalle would go man, we would run high pick and roll with Noire Mogat. And Noire Mogat was amazing in this game, especially the first half. He was cooking. You hit a shot from the 4-point line. I still saw that the
Nandun pa rin
semblance
yung
of the
marks, yeah.
yung marks ng 4-point line from the PBA games. He launched one there, I think, to give UP the 22-6 lead, I think, or the 19-6 lead, yung something like that. 19-6 was, I think, right after that was a Noruka 3-point play. So yeah, it was a 22-6 start. I thought, grabe yung hot shooting ng UP. Let's see if this can keep up. And for the most part of the first half, I think it kept up until the second quarter. Well, let's go first to the first quarter. I have to give a shout out to, again, the role players of LaSalle. Guys like Marasigan, Abadam, Dungo, yung
Dungo hit a couple of baskets, yeah.
Yeah, you hit the three off the glass. Do you remember that? So those guys definitely. Mason Amos, who came back in this game, you hit the three. You hit his first three.
Yeah.
So it was the others. Well, Mason Amos not technically part of the others, but he was a part of that crew that kept LaSalle in this game, that chipped away at that 16-point lead. But in the second quarter, Mike Phillips,
Big Mike
Phillips went to work. I think scored
like 12, 13 points?
14 points. All 14
pa?
of his first half points came in that second quarter. He was unstoppable. Noruka couldn't
Yun yung
stop
main
him.
highlight ko eh. Like, I think that was when everything turned for LaSalle, actually.
Yep. They just went to Mike Phillips all throughout the second quarter and he was eating everyone alive.
Bakit
he was hitting his free throws.
Kasi sinapalahan ka kay Mike Phillips?
I questioned that decision by Coach Gold. I think Noruka got either his third foul.
Yeah.
I think his third foul. He got his third foul. He was subbed out. Why did you put the front court of Palanca and Belmonte? When Mike Phillips was there, you had Stevens and Alter.
Nung nakita siguro ni Mike yun, parang, okay, give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Crazy decision by Coach Gold not to put in at least someone bigger. Diba? Alter or Stevens. Alter, you played well in the last game. I thought he'd get the benefit of the doubt today. Apparently not. So that was a crazy defensive match-up decision by Coach Gold. But yeah, Mike Phillips dominated. He kept LaSalle humming in that second quarter. But UP still kept the lead. Remogat was dishing up some dimes whenever they would hard show on that high screen and roll for UP. He would just dribble it out to the wing and then find someone in the middle, either Stevens or si Palanca, or find someone on the baseline just to get a layup. Ang galing, ang ganda ng pick and roll decision making ni Noire Mogat in this game. This was a Noire Mogat of the UE Red Warriors. Diba? When they would just run pick and roll with him with Mamaway over and over again, and he would just break down the defense just off of his playmaking from that pick and roll. This was a Noy Remoga that we're used to seeing. Uh, on UP side, aside from Remogat, Naruka yung had his moments. Gani Stevens yung definitely had his moments, but I was looking more from Harold Alarcon. He had a disappearing act ulit in this game. Much like in the Ateneo game, did not contribute much. So Harold is making us look bad, Sammy. Yung pati si Maui. Parang preseason week, well, since 2 seasons ago, we've been calling for the Harold Alarcon breakout. We thought it was here in the preseason. The start of the season was not good for Harold. Then had big games and he's disappeared again. Yeah, he had big games. We called that he's finally breaking out, and
He's
now
back.
he's back.
Sinabi kasi
He's
natin ata, he's back eh.
we never said that he's back. We said that he's here.
He's here pala.
He's
Okay.
here, diba? This is the star of this is the superstar Harold Alarcon we've been seeing, and he shits the bed again. This was
I mean,
not.
to be fair, not bad naman yung percentages niya, no? But he didn't dominate this game.
Yeah, I expect
Medyo,
more.
he didn't
Sammy.
get more touches or
Yeah,
he wasn't
yeah.
as aggressive as he usually is. Siguro.
Yeah, and I question why. There are moments where Remoga's not on the floor. He should demand the ball. Make him go high screen and roll. UPS had success with Harold Alarcon high screen and rolls before. Why wasn't he doing that? I mean, that was majority of the play that they were running for the entire game. And so why wasn't Harold Alarcon asking for that ball and running high screen and roll? That's his play. I mean, they did it in the NU game, the UST game. That's how we got his big game, just doing high screen and roll
NU,
with
yeah.
Naruka, or with Stevens. Why wasn't he doing it here? So yeah, yun. Belmonte, God man, I hate watching this guy. The only one positive thing he did, Sammy, was a drive baseline. He got a layup over Pablo, and then got a fucking technical foul. Bro, come on. He definitely taunted. He stuck out his tongue at Pablo, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate watching this
Sabi
guy.
ko, why?
So,
Why?
why would you do
Kakashoot
that?
mo lang eh. Bakit?
Ang ganda lang ginawa mo eh. Ba't mo naman ginawa yun? Di ba? Presence of mind. I think pinagalitan din siya ni either ni Abadjano or ni Remoga.
Yeah.
Yung
think
he took
so.
them aside, sabi niya, huwag mo na gawin yun.
Focus.
Focus na. Huwag mo na gawin yun. So, head-scratching play right there from Mark Belmonte. Palangka yung had good minutes in that second quarter. He was one of the reasons that UP kept the lead. But in that third quarter, Sammy, aside from Mike Phillips continuing to go ballistic, including that fucking incredible, I think that was the best dunk of the season. Would you agree? Spin move.
Dunk of the season, yeah.
Baited
Candidate for
Raylan
dunk of the
Torres
season.
into gambling on that steal.
Akala ni Torres masi-steal eh, no? That was an
He
easy
showed the
bait.
ball to
Yeah, showed the
He showed
ball
the
eh.
ball
Talaga.
to Torres. He knew he was gonna gamble. Spun. One-handed hammer on Noruka. Gave Noruka a taste of his own medicine.
That's true. Naruka probably has like a couple of highlight dunks for this season. So,
Yep.
giving Naruka a taste of his own medicine.
Yep, that was incredible. That's probably the best dunk of the season.
Probably the best poster dunk also.
Yep.
Diba? Kasi, actually, Mike Phillips loves doing this. But, there was a game na sobrang frustrating na he tried to do poster dunks and missed like 3 dunks. I forget which game this was, but mahilig mag-poster dunk si Mike eh. So, when he did that, sabi ko, why? Ito na naman, poster dunk, mintis na naman to. Tapos biglang, oh, shit.
Bawi yun eh. Because diba nung first half, I think he had a put-back dunk yung that he missed. Diba? Which led, I think, to a 3-point play yung on the other end. So, bumawi si Mike Phillips. That was awesome. I'm gonna be seeing that in my memory for the next couple of years.
Could
What
be
an
dunk
amazing
of the season.
What an amazing play by Mike Phillips. But the story for LaSalle in that third quarter was definitely Boris Marasigan. What a game he played, especially towards the end of that um, third quarter. So right after the Phillips spin move and then poster dunk, which was on Torres, yung he was the guy yung guarding Phillips. A few plays after that, si Marasigan posted up Torres up and under up and under on Torres, got the layup to go. Ensuing play, step back on Torres, in Torres's face, knocked down the three. Torres
Knocked down the three.
was not having a good third quarter. Actually, was not having a good game at all. And Boris continued even in the fourth quarter. Hit clutch jump shot from the top of the key. Yung hit a three from a Gillian Keynes assist. Assisted on EJ Abadam, Earl Abadam 3. Got a layup on Jacob Baila. He drove to the right and just had a layup yung on Jacob Baila. Hit clutch free throws. Missed two also, but he hit two clutch free throws. He was everywhere in this game. He was on point, attacking endlessly. And this is, I said, what LaSalle needed. They need extra playmakers because people are gonna zone in on Jacob Cortez. And for the majority of this game,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob was struggling. I think how badly
3 of
did he shoot him?
14.
3 of
3 of
14. So
14,
I think
21%.
in total now for
Last
past
three
four or three
games?
oh
Yeah.
past 4 or 3 games, he's now uh 8 of 42, something like that. Mga 8 of 42 or 8 of 35 if you count their 3 games back. So he was struggling, but he was getting to the line, and I think uh, he got going. He hit a clutch three in the fourth quarter. Hit a layup
Yung
in
ano
that.
boarding eh, no? Step
Oh,
back three
so
niya.
uh, it was a good thing that they had clutch shots from Abadam and Manasigan. They're the ones who really brought it home for LaSalle. But you can't count out the dominance of Mike Phillips in this game. LaSalle had no UP had no
That
answer in this game.
started it all. That
Yep,
second quarter from Mike.
yep.
That started
And
it
on the
all.
other end for UP, Remogan was amazing. I think he even got fouled in one of his step back threes by Abadam.
Classic
It wasn't
Remogat
called.
move.
Oh, yung classic Remogat move. I think he got fouled. It wasn't called,
Hindi
but
na tinawag, yeah.
he was amazing in this game. He was playmaking his ass off. He was shooting the lights out. I hope we see Remogat more. What were his game totals? 25, 6, and 8. A
Season
steal and a
high,
block.
25, yeah.
Yeah, season high yung 25 points. Definitely brought it in this game. Um, that's it. What are my other notes? Slowing down the game again by LaSalle definitely worked in their favor. I think they're a better half court team uh, versus UP than UP is against them. When they start speeding up the game, I think that's when they lose because UP loves to run. UP loves their transition baskets. And when they're not able to get transition baskets, because the game is slow, when they are not able to force turnovers, they sort of have a hard time getting baskets in the half court. Unless it's Harold Alarcon or Noire Mogat high pick and roll, which they did endlessly in this game. Sammy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you covered a lot. I mentioned si Mike Phillips. I think that was the one that really started the LaSalle run and gave them the energy. Motor Mike nga naman, 'di ba? I think one of the guys that have been underrated for LaSalle ever since probably they lost Mason and si Baklaan has been Erla Badam. I think he's been having an amazing season. He's become the other go-to guy, maybe even the number two go-to guy, especially when I think like the past few games, lalo na when Jacob Cortez has been sort of cold. I think it's Earl Abadam who has been uh, scoring for them or trying to score for them. I
Especially in
know
the clutch.
Maui's. I was gonna say I know Maui's super high on this guy. He's been the go-to guy, lalo na sa clutch. That's a good point. Yeah, so I think he was underrated here also. And yung maganda yung kay Earl Abadam is he's a two-way player. He defends some of the best players on the other team also. So I think he deserves to be mentioned here. Um Is he having an underrated season so far? Like he doesn't get talked about that
Yeah,
much, diba?
because he's known as a role player. He was coming into this season, Sammy, as a role player, and for majority of the first round, when si Baklaan and Amos were still there, he was mostly just a catch and shoot guy. He's now showing off the skill set that I thought he definitely had towards the end of season 86. He definitely had the skill set. Even in season 87, before he got injured,
He can
he
create
did
his
he,
own shots, eh.
yeah. So now you're seeing the upside of Earl Abadam. I think this is his last playing year
Last
for
year. Mm-hmm.
yung for Lasal. So definitely he had to step into a bigger role with the injuries of Baklaan and Baklaan and Amos, but Amos is back. But he's definitely shown that he can step up. He can scale up his game, and I'm very happy for him. Him and Marasigan, sometimes si Makalala can uh, if they alternate, it's pretty good because they have the skill set for it and they can defend as well. I think in small ball lineup, si Abadama bumabantay kay Nuruka and
Yeah.
si Mike Phillips ang bantay ni Stevens. So he can hang. And for seasons past, si Abadam yung bumabantay kay Francis Lopez. So he definitely, I think he has the upper body strength for it. Doesn't really necessarily have the height, but the foot speed and the body strength and the trust of Coach Topex for him to have those key matchups is definitely big time. And the fact na nakabawi siya, Sammy. Remember, nung last game, he missed that
He missed
game, the potential game-winning three against Adamson.
Adamson. Yeah.
So bawi. Yung hit clutch shots, he hit the three, hit the midi. I think he crossed Gani Stevens up. Gani Stevens did not know where yung Abadam went step back, crossover, and Gani Stevens like, wow, where the hell is Abadam? And he got that jumper over. Clutch baskets by Abadam. Even if Cortez struggled, he still had yung 14 points, but it was mostly si Banasigan and si Abadam who brought it home for the De La Salle Green Archers. Sammy.
Yeah. So I think Abadam has had an underrated season so far. Deserves to be mentioned or talked about even more. Lasal wouldn't be here without this guy. Another guy that I do want to mention or I do want to talk about siguro would be Mason's return. It actually happened. I think we didn't
Happy for
expect
him.
this.
Happy
Yeah,
for him.
exactly. So we didn't expect this. I think Lasal was really happy. Like Sina Mike was hyping up Mason. I think si Mike was the one who posted about it na Mason could like return soon. Super happy for him. Glad that he made it back. I know he's sabi nga ni Coach Topex, he's been itching to get into the game. May moment lang like he fell, tas parang ako kinakabahan na ako eh. Yun lang yung medyo nakakatakot kay Mason. Obviously like he's not 100%. So he medyo mabagal pa rin siya. Like he's kind of slow-footed to begin with, but coming back from an injury, he's not like 100%. Hit a three as you mentioned, but I think for now like you should be happy that Mason's back. Yun lang. We can't expect much from him, and I don't think sina Coach Topex are expecting a lot then from Mason, but uh good to see him back. Uh Other things, I think I do want to talk about on the UP side. Uh you talked about si Belmonte getting that silly technical. I do want to talk about Nuruka's other technical that cost him like that got him ejected. Basically like tapping the ball away from Mike Phillips before he could even inbound it. Alam mo para sa akin ano to eh. This is a classic example of like yung intrusive thoughts ni Noruka just took over his body. Tapos parang, uy, tap mo na yung bola na yan. Parang ganyan. Uh, UP lost. Medyo down na sila by like 4 points at that time. A few seconds left. But still, they still had the chance. I was so frustrated with Noruka back then. Like, what do you think about Noruka tapping the ball away from Mike Phillips?
I'll go first to the Mason Amos thing, and then I'll go to Nuruka. So as I said, happy for Mason. Uh, Love that he's back. And he finally gets to play. He hit his first three. I think the rest of his shots were short. So
Yun na
maybe
lang, yeah, yeah.
some
Rust.
legs were not there or some rust
Mm-hmm.
definitely on the stroke. But his importance on the offensive end, I think, can be best illustrated with the two Cortez baskets in the final minutes of this game. I think si Cortez was able to drive. You get a left-handed layup in what with 2 minutes left, and then was able to get a pick and roll with Mike Phillips and then bank in a three. The layup, Noruka was not in the paint because he was guarding Amos on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gravity. You have a deadly shooter like Mason, you have to guard him. He's not like Luis Pablo, who's a
Who can't
questionable
shoot
shooter.
threes, basically.
He's not a shooter at all. Um, and then the bank shot, pick and roll. They had to respect the role of Mike Phillips because again, Noruka was not in the paint. He was guarding Mason Amos on the perimeter on the opposite side because Mason can shoot. He's a deadly shooter. That's the value of having a Mason Amos. Now, we do know his struggles on the defensive end. Uh, I think off a UP timeout, they essentially, Noy Remogat, you're isolating on Mason Amos. And he blew by Mason Amos and got a foul, I think, or
On
something. So,
an injured Mason Amos. So, hindi pa siya 100%. So, easy for Noy Remogat.
yep. And I think right after that, Coach Topex went to the offense defense sub, just every defensive position. Okay, Mason, you're out. Apadam, you're in. Mason, you're not playing defense. They're gonna target you. So yeah, he gives some away on the other end. He's not really a good defender, not yet. But definitely you have to respect his outside shooting on the offensive end. And as I said, those two plays by Cortez definitely illustrated the importance of having a shooter like Mason Amos. On Nuruka, yeah,
That's also I mean, it's not the only stat that matters, pero Mason was actually a plus 21 sa game. Because of the gravity then. So, yeah, good point on that.
yeah, on Nuruka, yeah, that was just dumb. I think si Abadjano
Intrusive
just had
thoughts
a
talaga
layup. They
eh.
cut the lead to four. And
Hello.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, intrusive thoughts by Francis Noruka. It was dumb. I mean, he gave a point to Lasal for free and got himself thrown out. I don't think he's gonna be suspended for the final four. I doubt. I mean, they didn't suspend Steven, so I don't think they're gonna suspend Noruka for something like this, diba? So, yeah, he has to be better. Um, he also had some traveling calls in the third quarter. Got too excited with some fast breaks that he had a mismatch on. So uh, you have to take it. If you're UP, he gives a lot of positives, but sometimes he makes some boneheaded plays, and you have to take it if you're a UP fan. It's the bad yung with the good of Francis Noruka.
He sort of reminds me of Precious Momoway in yung like the energy or like the passion. So sometimes like may gigil lang talaga. May halong gigil pa to si Francis Neruca. So he makes some questionable plays sometimes. But you cannot deny yung skill set niya no or yung athleticism din niya. Uh yeah, I think the only other thing like worth mentioning for UP, I think like Jerry Abadiano was also somewhat good this game. I think he's been he's been good ever since nawala din si Alarcon. He was really good against Ateneo. I thought he was going to bring UP back again in this game. I think he hit like a clutch shot ulit nung uh, last few minutes. But
Yung
couldn't.
three, yung
Yung three, di ba?
yung he
He
got it off
inbounded
an
it.
inbound.
Yeah.
Notice that he
Siya
wasn't being
nag-inbound,
guarded. So
got it back, and then just took that three. Um, but kinulang pa rin. But I think it's also good to see Jerry Abadiano back. He's been quiet the whole season, so hopefully maging consistent na si Jerry Abadiano. But yeah, that's it. I think for me, this was a great win by LaSalle. Congrats to LaSalle. They solidify their chances of making it to the Final Four. But it just, for me, it makes the losses to FEU and Adamson hurt more. Especially the 1 point losses. Diba? Parang they can beat UP, but they lost to FEU and Adamson. Yun yung masakit for LaSalle, I think. But
Sam,
I
they could have been tied with UP if they
yeah,
did
yeah,
not lose
actually,
to
yeah.
FEU and Adamson. That's how
If they had
painful those
won those,
losses are.
if they had made two free throws, at least two more free throws in those two other games, that's how painful those losses are. But ayun, at least sabi mo nga, they have a fighting chance, since worst case I think is a battle for Final Four. Uh, any other thoughts for this game?
Uh, they hit LaSalle hit well kind of decent percentage from the free throw line.
Free throws?
17 out of 26, 17 out of 26, 65%. And I think Boom Gonzalez on the call did point this out. Mike Phillips changed his free throw routine. Like he was
Yung
just
mas
getting it,
mabilis na?
yeah, one dribble then shot. He kind of did the Giannis. Giannis
Giannis before,
Antetokounmpo.
di ba?
Remember si Giannis a couple of years ago would take so long at the free throw line. You know, it became a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
People were counting him
People
at the
would
free throw
count
line.
down.
Oh, ang tagal. And then the next season, binilisan niya. One dribble shoot. This is the same thing with Mike Phillips. He just one dribble and shot it. And kudos to him. 3 out of 5. I think it was
Three
five
out
out
of
of
five.
six in the last game. So that's a total. He's 8 out of 11 for the past two
Not
games.
bad.
That's pretty
That's
good.
above average for a UAAP
Has he
player.
solved this free throw woes?
Is
So
this Coach Ren Ritualos doing? Is it finally working?
baka. He was pointing sa bench when he made the free throw. So, baka si Renren yung tinutulungan niya, hey, this is your work. Uh, ano pa ba? Gilan Kines gave some good minutes. Oh, he was a +9 in 10 minutes. I think that's a
True.
good sign.
I forgot about
Yung
him.
had
Yeah.
2 great baskets and then that assist to a Boris Manasigan 3, I think had a pretty good stint on the floor. So something to look forward to if you're a LaSalle fan. I think Gilan Kines is a player.
Okay, let's talk about FEU's win and implications, things to look forward to tomorrow's game. So, FEU and LaSalle accomplish their missions. They stay alive for a slot at a chance to make it to the Final Four. Anything you wanna talk about FEU? Kasi sa akin, there's only like one FEU versus UP game, because sa akin, the only key takeaway there is um hindi naman pala overreaction ko during our very first episode when I did say UE might
Naligtas
go
ka lang,
winless
hiya
this
ka.
season. Naligtas
Naligtas.
ako
The
ng
next game they
Ateneo
could
at
have
ng
won
FEU.
ng hiya ka. But yeah, disappointing season for the UE Red Warriors. Actually, they played decent in this
Yeah,
game. I thought they cut the lead to
they were
4 or 3
down how big?
as much as 8,
Double
as much as
digits.
20,
Yeah.
18, or something like that. And they fought back. As I mentioned to you guys, parang, uy, they cut the lead to 4. Uy, they cut the lead to 5.
Nung
Uy, they're only down 3.
third quarter yun,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, but FEU always had an answer. Kirby Moncopa always had a basket within his grasp. Si
Or
John Ray
assisted on a
Pasol,
basket.
yeah, ang galing. Ang daming yung pamatay sunog ng FEU. Whenever UE would cut the lead to 2 possessions, FEU had an answer, would extend it back to 10, and then UE would come back, bring it down to 5, and then FEU would extend it to 10 again. They always had an answer. Loved it. Uh, Kirby Moncopo was amazing in this game. I thought he was on point. He was playmaking from the high post. He was doing it on the defensive end. Had a couple of really bad turnovers here and there, but overall, I think you like your chances now. Their last game is against UST, so I don't know who would they want to win, NU or UST tomorrow, because if UST wins, essentially wala nang meaning yung game nila against FEU
Against
because they blocked
FEU.
up the Final Four slot. But if they lose, they'll be coming. If UST loses, they'll be battling against a UST team that's desperate as well. So I don't know which you would rather have. So um, I don't know. Let's see what happens. But this is good for FEU. I think they were 4-8. You 4-7 at one point, and they've won 2 straight
Mm-hmm.
games. So this is the past 2 games, a 1 point win against LaSalle and this win against UE. Definitely big time for UE. I don't know what else to say. Look forward to next season. Hopefully, you could get some diamond in the rough players. Hopefully, you could develop a guy like si Dylan Despy, who showed some flashes in this game. Tweaked an ankle in the first quarter, but came back and
Came back.
still scored 6 points, I think, in the second
Mm-hmm.
half. Yun. Sayang. Si Precious had a big dunk, had 2 big dunks also in this game. You love the fight back, but if you're a UE Red Warriors fan, you're definitely not happy. But very sad
I
season. 0-14 is nothing to be happy about, Sammy.
I think I think what's making it worse for UE Red Warriors fans, I think after the during the post game interview, si Precious is unsure about returning. Si Welo
Oh,
Lingo is
really? He said
also
that? Talaga?
unsure pa daw siya, but si Lingo Lingo is open to returning. So that's something to watch out for. Actually, I didn't get to see the whole interview, but I saw the like a caption of the interview. So gonna be a tough postseason for UE. Uh, FEU, kudos to FEU for fighting, still having a chance. My question for you: did FEU, without even looking at the final result of their game, like whether they win or lose against UST, do you feel like FEU overachieved this season?
Yeah. I mean, with the
Diba?
loss of no, yung with the
I
loss
think they
of
were a
VJ
pleasant
Pre.
surprise.
Yeah. Yung with the loss of VJ Pre and Kirby Moncopa and January Pasaol stepping up big time, I think this is a huge positive for FEU fans all over. Now have something to build on for the next season. Maybe add some more pieces from the juniors ranks. You add some more
Mm-hmm.
recruits. Add the backup for Mo Konate, and si Zane Mahmood is coming, so maybe he's a more decent backup for Mo Konate. Oh, go.
Uh, don't forget, it's not just about adding more firepower. It's retaining your current stars. I think that's the bigger problem for
Oh
FEU.
yeah, oh definitely. They si Pasaol and Mongcopa have to stay for them to even um, sniff again the Final Four for next season. But this is definitely an achievement, Sammy, for FEU. The fact that they lost their uh, you know star player from last season and we're still able and now still in the hunt for a Final Four slot and are in good position to actually get to 7-7. This is a win. This is a win for FEU, its program, and to all FEU fans.
And this is Jorik's last year, no? Jorik Bautista. I think
Yes,
this is
Joric
his last year.
Bautista's last year.
Ay nako, salamat. Buti naman di na namin makikita si Jorik Bautista next year.
Joric, umalis ka na.
Wag na, tama na.
Huwag ka na makilaro over sa
Umal-
Ateneo. Buisit ka.
umalis ka na, Jorik Bautista. Graduate ka na, mag-aral ka na lang. Huwag ka na magpakita dyan sa
Ay,
Ateneo.
nako.
Speaking of Ateneo and Adamson, big game for tomorrow. Ateneo versus Adamson. I think if Ateneo loses, wala na. Either one of them, I think.
If
Tama ba?
both teams lose, if either team
Either
loses,
they're out.
they're gone. So the battle of the
Yeah.
birds, palakihan ng bird. Tingnan natin kung sino mas malaki. Ito talaga yung ultimate palakihan ng bird for season 88 eh. No first round, yung mas malaki bird ng Ateneo. But let's see for the entire season, sino talaga yung mas malaki yung bird? Sa amin
I don't know,
ko.
pero parang like the past few seasons, laging yung Ateneo versus Adamson has been like a crucial game for like the
Oh,
final four
yeah.
spot. Hindi ba? Parang
Yeah.
if my memory is correct.
Yeah, nung season 86, they faced Adamson to get to the final four. It was a playoff. Remember?
Right,
So
ayun pala yun.
season 86, yeah, they beat Adamson you for the playoff. They got the fourth seed yung Ateneo. Last season, it
Even
was
last
important
season
for
they were still fighting
it
for a
it was
chance.
important
Parang
for
ganun.
Adamson
Adamson.
to get a chance at the playoff. To get the playoff, yeah. To get the playoff for the fourth seed, they had to beat Ateneo. For Ateneo, when they lost, they were automatically the number 8 seeded team. They were automatically yung last place yung when they lost to Adamson. I do remember that. So, yeah. It's always been important
So,
for
once again,
play-in.
another probably one of the biggest games of the season for both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
UST versus NU, big winner for the day, Sammy. I think is the NU Bulldogs. With UP losing, they're automatically the first seed. And I don't know if you're Jeff Napa, would you
Risk
would
it?
you rest your? I mean, essentially tomorrow is the game
Non-betting.
does not mean anything for you
Yeah.
guys, yung whether you win or yeah, yung non-betting. Would you risk an injury to one of your rotation guys? What if Jake
Remember,
Figueroa yung rolls an
he
ankle?
lost
What if
his
Omar
FSA
John?
last year. He lost his FSA during the
Yun nga eh.
first game of the season last year. This year, do you want to risk potentially getting injuries from your important players during the last game of the season na non-bearing? Kung ikaw
And
si
also,
kung ikaw si Coach Jeff Napa.
sige, I was gonna ask you that. Like, what would you do in Coach Jeff Napa's shoes? Pero sige, I'll answer it first. I would actually rest my guys.
Same.
Well, you
I
said
agree.
it. Diba? It's a non-betting game for them. They're the first seed, whatever happens. I don't want to risk any injury. Diba? You said it yourself. Si Mo Diazara got injured last season, essentially derailed the entire season. What if something like that happens again? Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
I hope nothing happens. But if I were Coach Jeff, I would just rest my guys. Give Jedrick Solomon time to play. Bigyan si Tebol. I don't know, yung mga bench guys niya.
Tolabot.
Si Vince Reyes. Si Tolabot.
Vince
Palaruin
Reyes.
niya.
Mon de la Cruz.
Yung sila mo. Yung baka ano lang, sa first quarter, yung ipa-jump ball mo lang, tapos pa-stop out mo lang. Parang si Mikal Bridges, alam mo yun, nung end of last season, parang yung nag-jump ball lang, tapos nag-foul, tapos umalis na nung game. Para lang may games played. Stat na ongoing. So maybe Coach Jeff could do something like that. They don't need to win. They don't need to risk it. For UST side, also, yung for NU, kung nilaglag nyo ang UST, may chance mag-4 ang UST. Gusto nyo ba kakatapat ng UST? Or would you rather or would you rather sa UP yung problema na kayo ng UP? No? Diba?
Right.
There could be some yung gamesmanship there.
Yeah.
Diba? I wouldn't like if you're Coach Jeff Nava, I would not want to face Colin Sakoe revenge game potential in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Sige, you can win this game, you can lock up number 3, and you can well, I don't think they automatically lock up number 3, but they can get closer to number 3 and face the UP Fighting Monos. Kasi sa amin, kasi 7-6 ang Lasal. So if they win against Ateneo and UST loses one of their next 2 games, they're both 8-6. I'm not sure who has the quotient advantage there. But yeah, they had still have a chance to go. You go to number 4. So if you're NU, would you want to help UST you get to number 3? I don't know. So that's some thought process. Ikaw, what would you do with Coach Jeff Nava's shoes?
Oh, ako risk averse ako. So for sure I'm sitting down my star players. Just yun nga for me, that would be the worst case scenario, diba? Like you lose your star player, one of your stars or your important role guys during the last game of the season when it's a non-bearing game. And honestly, this is NU's best chance to win at a championship. There's no more next year for a lot of these guys. We're talking about, diba, yung two timeline scenarios mo. This is the perfect year where both timelines will meet, are aligned. So, I'm not gonna risk it at all. Hindi ko na nga ipapa-jump ball. Baka pagka-jump ball, masira yung kuko ni Omar dyan. Wag na. I'm not gonna risk it. Ang maputol kuko ni Omar dyan, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm sitting all the main guys down. I'm playing the bench guys, the end of rotation guys, 40 minutes. Bahala kayo, mapagod kayo dyan. Solomon, you're going to play the whole game. You're not gonna sub out. I'm not gonna put Omar John in for a single second. Bahala na.
Okay. I think we agree on that. I hope they do that because if they take this game seriously and someone gets hurt, that gonna look
Well,
good
Coach
at
Jeff
all.
Napa is a competitor, so
And he
that could
is, and I'm
happen.
scared
That
that
could
he will
happen.
play Jake Figueroa 35 minutes or something
Oh
like that.
God, no.
Please,
Lord have mercy.
no, 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 no. So, yeah, USD is definitely a must win tomorrow to get to 8-5, no, and get into a better position yung for number 3. For Wednesday, I think it's UST FEU and LaSalle versus Ateneo.
Ateneo.
So it will all depend on the results of the games tomorrow. What are the implications on Wednesday? Like if Ateneo loses tomorrow, the Ateneo LaSalle game will just be for pride for Ateneo, and LaSalle will be playing for a chance to tie for number 3. So that's it. For USTFEU, again, depends on the results tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
If UST loses tomorrow, they would definitely want to win against FEU. I think regardless, they would want to win against FEU. I think so. They want to lock up seed number 3 unless they don't want to face UP. And magpanaglakas nila to 7-7. Pero they will
Delix
tie with
yun.
FE.
Delix yun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Delix yun because they will tie with FU yung with FEU for 7-7. Baka magka-playoff pa nun. And even Adamson, if Adamson wins, they're tied with 7-7. So I don't think USD would want to play with fire here. I think
Mm-hmm.
they'd want to win their last 2 assignments. So lots to happen. Definitely lots of things to happen. The LaSalle win kanina definitely put them in better position. But it's not over yet. Marami pang pwede mangyari. And I'll see you out tomorrow for the Ateneo Adamson game and the
Oh
USDNU
yeah.
game. I'll be watching live. I'll be watching. I'll be making the trip
So
to Pasay.
lapitan nyo lang si Gab. Shout out also to like all our commenters who have been commenting all the crazy scenarios that could possibly happen. Daming nag-share ng mga crazy scenarios sa atin. Like our good friend si Dan also like ran it through
Chinat
I think
GPT pa nga eh.
ChatGPT. Ni Dan. Shout out to Dan, our good friend. Yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. We'll definitely watch tomorrow's games. Gab will be there, so please say hi to him if you see him. Comment down below your thoughts from today's games, your predictions for tomorrow's games, and what you think the final four will end up looking like. Who will make it? We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Ingat. Maui. Pasalubong namin. Bye-bye.